Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This fielded at the 2.
Well, that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Hey, man, watch the boot, watch the boot.
Now Rosen. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. John Ross, his 6th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
From the gun, Jackson going up top. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle is going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Ross on the return. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Judon able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. caught the defense off guard there a bit on 2nd and long, but now you still have to deal with 3rd and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one, that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
On 3rd down, Rosen. And able to find Green. That one goes for 24 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better. And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
Let's go.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rosen. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, he was just trying to contain DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a little too close.
And because of his ability to line up in different spots on the field and come at you from different angles, different guys have to cover him, and all of them have the same issue. How do you do it without interfering? In this case, it didn't get done.
Now the former Sooner, this is Rodney Anderson. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he slides to avoid the hit. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now Rosen looking to throw. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A 2-yard touchdown grab. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. 2 excellent drives for them to start this game, both ending with touchdown passes.
Yeah, they're off and running, even though they finish things off through the air. Got to like what you're seeing from them so far. Being able to maneuver offense, take care of the football, and then ring that bell at the end with, as you said, 2 touchdown passes.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now 14-0. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 41 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Lonnie Johnson picks it. And he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Coming to you, coming to you.
After the interception, here's Rosen. Going deep for Hopkins. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
A quick throw there out to Jeffrey. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
In your face.
On 2nd and 7, Rosen. And this is going to be intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return.
Boy, that's the kind of interception that can save a game right there. They're already down 2 scores. Huge play, slowing down what was going against them.
I was thinking the same thing. You get down 3 scores there at this stage, could be in for a long ball game. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
I'm here all day.
Elliott. He'll be stopped shy of the 45 despite a great move. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
This is Howard on 2nd down. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Stop your whining.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 10.
On third down, Jackson. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this. You have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers now.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Emmanuel Agba able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Monday. 59, Mike, 59, Mike. Check, 59. I got one.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. To throw is Rosen. Screen play, Anderson. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 16 yards, a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Rodney Anderson, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 11 yards there, first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Rosen will throw, and that's complete. It's Green here. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. Rosen now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Recon, 132 fighter. Monday.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Rosen. It's complete to Williams. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Travion Williams, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down.
I got eight. Watch tight end. Watch
Jackson from the shotgun. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Here we go.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Bang. Check three.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And you're under a minute to go in the half. A first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Mike 50. You can't block me. You can't block me.
Throwing on second and long. Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Flush to his right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Now here's Ross. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Bengals drive about to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they...
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 10-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Another score from around the league, meanwhile, up in Cleveland. And it's the Browns out to the early advantage. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. On the delay, it's Howard. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack, but I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone and into the offensive backfield. He's a heck of a player.
And there, a big TFL, tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back. He's bred this big defensive tackle.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10. They run on first down as they get about 3. Second and 7, forthcoming. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
At the 42-yard line.
On second and 7, Jackson. They'll set up the screen to Howard. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's third down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Michael Gallup, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens get a bit closer. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Let's get it.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Tight end left. Tight end left. You got three. Three down. Three down.
They'll run the counter with Murray. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
He's not going to get me. Motion, 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 motion. Bumps off the helmet. Here we go, here we go.
From the gun, it's Rosen. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. The end result, 21 yards.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
Rosen now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10.
You think you gonna get this? You think you gonna get this?
From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Alert! Check 24, check 24. Alert, alert, alert.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quitting here.
Zero.
And now he'll tuck it and run. And now we're going to get a stoppage as, yeah, that looks like Jackson who's shaken up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Buddy up! Mike's 50! Mike's 50!
Yeah, that's what I do.
On second down, Elliott. A big run that time by Elliott. 45 yards. He had been held in check. Now he breaks that big run. Shows the explosiveness we all knew was there.
All right, tell the truth now. You knew it was just a matter of time, didn't you? We've seen this so many times from him. Hold him down, and then breaks out.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. It'll be a gain of 6, and it's a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Now Griffin on second down. And an alley to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards. The Ravens on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Play action. It's Griffin. He'll have a first down. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Michael Gallup. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Ravens cut into that lead. From the gun, it's Griffin. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. And that's complete to Jeffrey. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Looking to throw again on second down. Rosen finding Green complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one good for 26 and a first down. Rosen now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. shotgun with Murray. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Again, it's Murray. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The Bengals on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it could be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They had to go the length of the field last time out to get into the end zone, and with this starting field position, they're going to have to pretty much do it again.
And I think the thought process going into it is, hey, if you have to be methodical, go ahead and do that. But what you really want are a couple of big plays. Eat up chunks of yardage and cut down the number of times you have to snap the football.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to let this one go deep into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jeff Heath.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They stay on the ground. This time, it's Williams. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back
Just
to
2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Again, it's Williams. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
180. He's coming.
On the ball.
And they take a knee.
Rosen is the keeper. It's a loss of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. And they'll indeed take a knee. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And maybe more importantly, a victory in the division, which always helps.
And on the road. How about all of that rolled up into one? Because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin?
Yeah, they thumped them.
Yeah, they jumped all over them. In a division game, it's usually a touchdown or less because these two teams know each other better than most teams in the league. In this case, that didn't hold up. On the road, big margin, big victory. Oh, yeah, that flight home will be good.
So for the Bengals, the win moves them a couple games over 500 now at 7-5. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll try to rebound next.